boss. At dahil Friday ngayon, Jules, syempre ating paboritong SSS kami sa iyo segment. Dito po pinag-uusapan natin ang mga programa at proyekto ng SSS. Kung last week po ay napag-uusapan natin ang tulong na ibinigay at inihandog ng SSS para sa mga kapatid nating na biktima nga ng typhoon
Diyan sa Mindanao, diba?
Diyan sa may Mindanao. And of course, ngayon naman ako, Jules, particular na ang ating pag-uusapan itong compliance ng mga employers.
Okay.
So yan po ang aalamin natin ngayong umaga. Para po bigyan tayo ng impormasyon dyan, makasama po natin ang ating dalawang very special guests this morning. Let us all welcome Attorney Edmond D. Marino, Officer in Charge, SSS Operations Legal Department. And of course, we also have Ms. Emelita P. Dagit, Senior Special SSS Branch, Systems and Procedures Department, Social Security System. Good morning!
Morning!
Umpisa na po natin ito patungkol sa compliance ng employers. Ano po ba nga dapat malaman or ano pong tinitingnan ng SSS para malaman nila ng isang negosyo, isang tao ay employer?
Diyan, unang-una, dapat tignan muna natin ang provision ng SSS. Meron tayong provision sa SSS law kung what is an employer, what is an employee. Pero, ang nananaig ngayon at nangingibabaw ngayon ay ang Supreme Court decision on how to determine the existence of employer-employee relationship. Meron tayong tinatawag na fourfold rule. This fourfold rule has long been applied by Supreme Court in long list. Ganito po ang fourfold rule na ito. Apat po ito. Ngayon, itong una. First of all, yung the right to engage or to hire. Now, the payment of the wages or salary. Who pays the salary? Yeah. The third is the right to fire, to dismiss. And the fourth is, which is the most important, is the control test. Now, ano po itong control test na ito? Ang control test ay ganito. The employer controls or reserves the right to control the employee not only as to the results of the work done or performed, but also as the means or methods of attaining the results of the work. Yan. Kaya ibig sabihin yan, hindi lang yung resulta, ito, tinrabaho ko ito na yung, hindi, yung paano ginagawa o anong gagawin mo para magawa mo yung trabaho mo.
Pero attorney, para dun sa SSS coverage ng regular employer, ano po ba sila? Nagpo-fall sila under mandatory or voluntary member?
Ang employer, ang SSS law, mandatory yan. That is a social legislation.
Okay.
Ngayon, even under yung provision ng SSS law, all employees below 60 years of age shall be compulsory covered under the SSS law.
Alright. Attorney, pagdating naman po sa obligasyon employers, ano po ba yung responsibilidad ng mga employers sa ilalim po ng batas natin?
There are plenty, marami po yan. Pero we will just concentrate and focus on the most important. First of all, we have the system. Kaya kinakailangan, the employer must register his business as an employer member. First of all, that is the registration of the employer. Now, second is, of course, the reporting of the employee by the employer. That's the second obligation. Third is the payment of contributions on behalf of the employee. And not only the payment of contribution, but the payment of the exact and correct amount of contribution. Also, is the remittance of the salary, calamity, loan amortization for the employee.
Okay.
And fourth is also under Section 24D, yung tinatawag nating visitorial power of the SSS. Pag sinabi natin visitorial power, what we mean is this, that the employer is required to keep true and accurate work records in the place of business of the employer, and that the employer must be ready to present these records upon demand by the SSS or the authorized representative of the SSS. Itong right to inspect the records, yan, ang visitorial power.
Pero attorney, ito naman prescribed period para po makapag-report ng SSS coverage para doon naman sa mga bagong empleyado?
Gusto mawag empleyado, ang importante muna dyan, kapag na-report na yung mga employees, may tinatawag tayong R1 at R1A form ng SSS. Yung R1 na yan, dyan ang para nagpaparegister ang employer sa SSA for coverage. Yung R1A is the reporting of the employees under the employee of the employer. Na pag may bago dyan, wala namang formal na requirement or formal form for reporting a new employee. Ang ginagawa na lang dyan, because periodically, each employer is required to accomplish and submit to the SSS what we call SSS R3, yung tinatawag natin collection list. The employer just simply indicate the additional employee in that form when reporting all the previous employees already reported by the employer under the R1A. Yan lalagay lang yun. Basta importante is that there should be a form of notice that this person is a new employee of the employer.
Okay.
Alright. Sir, ngayon naman po, ano naman po ba yung deadline ng remittance po ng buwan ng contribution ng mga ating employers?
Before we go to that nga pala, kasi nga, yung tungkol sa reporting of the employees, before the reporting of the employees, it should be remember that under the SS law, the coverage of the employee starts from the moment that he starts operation of his business, and the coverage of the employee also starts on the day of his employment. Kaya dapat kaagad-agad, as much as possible, i-report ang employee. Now, with respect to the payment of contribution, meron tayo usually, before, it used to be yung demand following the month for which the contribution is applicable. Now, our management, higher management has come up with a new scheme. We call it number coding scheme. Ganito yung sistema para iwasan ang pagdagsaan ng mga employer at for the convenience of the employer dahil kasi you will have to beat the deadline. If you don't pay within that 10-day period na yan, may penalty na yan. It's 3% per month. So, ang ginawa ng aming management, nag-design sila ng number coding system. Ang ginawa ito under this number coding system ay yung the last digit or number of the employer's ID number will be taken into account in determining the paying period for that particular employer. Kaya ibig sabihin nito, kung alimbawa ang numero sa the last digit of the employer's number is, the employer's number is N2, so ang kanyang paying period is the first 10 days of the month following, the month for which the contribution is applicable. Ngayon din doon, kapag ang kanyang numero is 3 and 4, it should be on the 15th day, on or before the 15th day of the month. Ganun din sa 5 and 6, it should be the 20th day, before the 20th day of the month. Yung pinakahuling-huli dyan, yung tungkol sa 9 to 0, yun ang the employer has up to the last day of the month to pay the corresponding contributions on behalf of the employees.
Alright, ngayon naman for Miss Emily, no, alamin naman natin, since yung SSS, nakikipag-collaborate po ba sila sa different agencies para mas mapaigting at mas mapalakas yung may bibigay nilang compliance sa mga employers?
Alam mo, Diana, kapag kasundo kami sa Department of the Interior and Local Government para sa new procedures ng securing a business permit.
Alright, ma'am. Ma'am, so under this collaboration po, no, with the DILG, right?
DILG.
Okay. So ano naman po yung nilalaman nitong kasunduan na to para po siyempre maging malinaw po sa ating mga members ng SSS?
Sa bagong kasunduan, prior kasi sa December 2012, merong kasunduan sa DILG na bago makakuha ng permit ang mga employers, kailangan pumunta muna sila sa SSS at kumuha ng Certificate of Coverage and Compliance. So, hindi sila bibigyan ng clearance kapag wala silang ipipresent na ganon. So, ngayon, dahil binago natin yung procedure, gusto nating mapabilis, ang SSS, every last business day of the year, magbibigay na siya ngayon sa mga LGUs ng listahan ng mga delinquent employers. Itong listahan na to, ang pagbabasihan ng mga LGUs, kung sino yung bibigyan ng clearance. So pagka yung mga delinquent, hindi sila bibigyan ng business permit. Meron naman mga LGUs na nag-exercise ng post-audit system. So ang ginagawa nila, pwede silang mag-issue ng 3-month temporary permit. So para mabigyan ng chance ng mga employers na to na makapag-settle ng delinquency sa SSS.
Pero Miss Emily, para for the benefit of our viewers, para makakuha ng business permit, ano po ba yung mga proseso, may qualifications po ba, and ano po yung mga requirements na kailangan dalhin ng mga boss natin?
As far as SSS is concerned, pag kukuha ka ng business permit, kailangan wala sila ay hindi delinquent sa contribution. Wala
So,
silang
dapat,
unsettled contribution.
Dapat tuloy-tuloy yung kanilang monthly contribution.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, mabalik po tayo dun sa sa collaboration ng SSS at ng DILG. Ano naman po ba yung basic responsibilities ng dalawang ahensyang ito para po at least malinaw din po natin yung distribution of responsibilities?
Oo. Ang SSS, responsibilidad nito na ipaalam sa mga employers yung status nila sa SSS kung sila ay may pending obligations. Kaya dapat meron silang, at the end of the, bago mag-end of the year, meron silang announcement sa, at least nga, 4 announcements sa major newspapers na kailangan nilang settle ng obligation sa SSS. Otherwise, hindi sila bibigyan ng business permit or worse, kung meron, marirevoke ang kanilang business permit. So, gagawin nila ng SSS, yung katulad na sinabi ko kanina na every last business day of the year, bibigyan nila ng listahan ang DILG ng mga delinquent employers. Ito namang DILG, hindi nila dapat bibigyan ng business permit yung mga delinquent employers. Or yung ibang nagpo-post audit, bigay ng 3-month temporary permit. Pero kapag hindi yun nakapag-settle within 3 months, i-revoke din yung temporary permit.
Okay, since Jules, we don't have enough time, alamin na rin natin ngayon, mag-jump tayo kung paano ba yung installment scheme ng mga employers. Siguro, attorney kayo po, ano pong mga installment? Siguro kahit i-rundown lang natin.
Kasi ang installment requirements,
Yes.
gusto nyo sabihin dito, ang installment requirements is this. If it is a corporation or a partnership, ang kinakailangan mga requirements yan is
Sige.
the filing of an application for an installment proposal scheme. That's one. And then, the submission of the articles of incorporation or the articles of co-partnership. That's number 2. And the certification of the secretary, corporate secretary, of that the directors or the secretary or the treasurer is authorized to sign the promissory note. And the promissory note must be a notarized promissory note. And that aside from that, the director, the secretary, the treasurer must execute an undertaking to the effect that they are personally undertaking fulfill the obligation or the liability of the corporation or the partnership.
Okay.
Now, it is a case of a single partnership. They will have to submit only the promissory note plus the collection list. Now, by the way, as regards the corporation and partnership, they are also required to submit what we call the collection list. This is the artist. When we say the artist, the persons or the employees are enumerated in this form, indicating the amount to be paid for each of the contributions, rather the amount of the contributions to be paid for each of the employees and the SSS number, so that the payment can be properly credited to the SS number of these employees.
Alright, sir. Sa pagtatapos po ng panayan po natin, no, ma'am, meron po ba tayong huling mensahe o mga paalala sa ating mga SSS members?
Paalala po sa mga employers na lagi po kayong please ensure that you are current in your SSS obligation para hindi na rin kayo ma-istorbo sa
Yes.
to assure you that you will get your renewal of business permits yearly.
Attorney?
Ay, ang masasabi ko lang nito, ito ay paalala lang hindi para sa membro namin ng SSS. Ang ibig sabihin sa namin sa membro ay yung mga manggagawa at pati na rin yung mga employees. Sa ating mga employees, pangalagaan natin ang kabutihan ng ating mga manggagawa dahil itong mga manggagawa nito is a big and important factor sa ating ekonomiya. Ito ang nagtatrabaho sa pamagitan ng kanilang industriya para ang ating kumpanya ay kumita at ang ating kumpanya ay magkaroon din ng malaking mga opportunity para sa ikabubuti ng ating ekonomiya at pati ng ating sambayanan. Kaya ang masasabi namin ay maging tayo'y conscientious sa ating paglilimitahan ng mga contributions sa ating mga empleyado. Kung wala tayong mga empleyado, walang magtatrabaho, wala yung ating kumpanya.
Wala rin tayong hanap
Tayo,
buhay.
wala tayong kumpanya. At tayo, sila, ang ating mga kaagapay sa pag-unlad ng ating ekonomiya at ng sambayanan.
Alright, at syempre marami tayong natutunan ngayong umaga, pati na rin yung mga benefits. Dapat yung compliance ng employers, pag hindi po natin masyadong alam, marami namang SSS branches na maaari silang bisitahin. Nandiyan din po ang, of course, ang website ng SSS, www.sss.gov.ph, para dito, nandiyan lahat ng rules and regulations. So ngayon, nalaman naman natin yung pag-renew, lahat permit, pati yung compliance ng mga employers para sa kanilang mga empleyado rin. So Jules, nakakatuwa dahil nakikita rin natin na ang ganda ng programa ng SSS para sa ating lahat.
At syempre, abangan muli natin sa susunod na Biyernes kung ano naman yung bagong topic na mas magbibigay linaw sa lahat ng ating mga miyembro ng SSS.
Alright, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And that was Attorney Edmond D. Marino and Miss Emelita P. Dagit.
Maraming salamat sa inyo.